Hi again. Round two of the guided practices. Hopefully that worked okay yesterday. Um, or I guess last time. You may not be practicing this consecutively. Um, I'm really new to this and I scrambled some words, so hopefully you were able to read between the lines. And then obviously, like, this is a concept that I'm working on myself. So I'm making mistakes as I go along as well and making corrections on my end. Really, I'm just giving you my internal dialogue as I do it. Um, I wanted to make a couple corrections or clarifications, more so clarifications, and I touched upon them on the video, but I wanted to describe them while I wasn't also playing at the same time. So when I talk about burying the beater, uh, oh, I busted out the tube socks today. It's that kind of energy. This is gonna be good. So when I talk about burying the beater, I just mean close my hi-hat. I just mean you play into the head and you don't come off the head until you're going to play your next note. So like a lot of rock drummers will do this. It gives you a really short, punchy, fat sound. It can also get some resonance and stuff on it, especially on this is much larger than usual bass drum. It can do some wacky things. Playing off of the head is your letting rebound happen. So if I was doing it with a stick, burying the beater is gonna look like that. Let's turn my snare off all the way. And then playing off of it would be playing kind of off of the rebound of the head. If you're doing it fast and at the right volume, like I'm essentially dribbling this right now. In fact, a really good little test is to actually unlatch, if I could get it. If you unlatch the spring, that's the spring I was talking about when I referred to spring tension. There's a little doodad underneath it. You're not gonna be able to see that. There's a little doodad under there that you can adjust the tension. But if you take the spring off of your bass drum so it's just floppy like that, I'm gonna totally butcher this first try. But you can actually work on dribbling it. So, whew, that was a bad first try. Let's try that again. I'm gonna do heel up because that's how I learned this. But you see how many you can get. Anyways, you get the idea. I haven't done that in a little while, but really good thing to get used to playing off the head a little bit. So when I was referring to that, that's what I was talking about. When I was talking about getting rebound while playing off the head, if I'm feathering, less rebound, burying it would look like this. I'm just applying more pressure. As I apply less pressure, you kind of hear some buzzing when I do that. That's what I was talking about there. Lastly, we were doing the exercise where we were doing a louder hit and then 3 quieter ones. So it was like loud, quiet, quiet, quiet. And I was talking about upstrokes and downstrokes. And what I was referring to there is basically preparing yourself for the upcoming hit. So if I'm on that first hit, I have a loud hit. In order to play a loud hit, like to play loud, my stick has to be up here, to play loud. If my stick's down here, unless I'm doing like a Bruce Lee 1-inch punch, like can only hit so hard. So what I need is an upstroke, which is either I just lift, or if I played just now, it's going to go and I do a tap and I end it high, and that prepares me for that downstroke. So those 4 consecutive hits would have, if I started high, would be a downstroke for the first hit, a low, low, and then the opposite, an upstroke, where you tap low and bring it high. So when I was doing that alternating high to low, low to high, high to low, low to high, what you're really working on is keeping the stick down there. And bear in mind, like I'm not like tensing to hold it down. You're just kind of stopping the stick from going up. If you're having to grip a ton, adjust how much you're throwing the stick down because the stick's trying to rebound so much, or the beater's trying to rebound so much. So just a little bit of clarification in that regard. And then one last thing, uh, my approach with working on new exercises and new techniques and things like that um, is based off of a little bit of science-based learning that deals with high repetition when being exposed to new ideas. Obviously, you need some kind of input as to whether or not you're doing things in a way that are going to hurt you, and most of that is listening to your body. But by and large, when you're practicing something new, just take it slow, take it gentle, and just try and get a lot of reps with it to get your body used to doing it. What that does is it's essentially telling your brain, hey, this is a skill that I'm going to need in the future. And it does that by basically being like, see, I just had to do this thing that I've never had to do. I just had to do it a bunch. This is a thing that I need you to start putting some energy into building the connections between those synapses in your brain. And so when you sleep at night, it will strengthen that. You don't need to worry. There is a lot of technique and a lot of higher. My laundry just got done. That's good. Oh, I just so lost my train of thought. Anyways, these like just grinding things, almost like a video game, where you're just trying to get high repetition. You're just trying to prove to your brain that you're going to need to be able to do that. It'll open some of those pathways. Obviously, there is a step further where you're really, really analyzing the micro movements of playing or the micro movements of your like ankle. For example, right off the bat, I was talking about how I was using my toes. That's my foot. When I'm on the pedal, if my foot's against the pedal, I can use my toes to push the very, very tip of this. Using a small movement to create sound. That's like with drums or with drumsticks, like we can use our fingers to generate motion. We can also use our wrists to generate motion. We can use our elbow. That's an awful shot. We can use our elbows to create motion, so on and so forth. Same with the bass drum pedal is I can use my toes to create motion. I can use my ankles to create motion. And I can also use my leg to create motion. I could also stand up and just hop up and down on the bass drum pedal. I don't know if that's the move. So just some things to take into consideration. Again, circling back to the repetition thing, don't be discouraged if what you're practicing feels awkward and weird. The goal is actually to find those things where your hand can barely do it and it feels like there's 100 miles between your brain and your foot. That's like best case. Just lean into that and get repetition there. And if it's super hard, work on it slowly in the way that we are. We could even be going twice as slow as we did yesterday, and you would get benefit out of that. So without rambling too much more, since it's been 8.5 minutes, let's get to work. So again, got us set to 60 beats per minute. I'm going to take this accent off, and we're just going to start off by feathering again in any way that you choose. So why is it accenting that first? Okay, I'm back. My metronome I've had that since high school, and it's being a little funky. Feathering the kick. I'm playing off of the head right now. I'm looking for consistent height. So again, as I'm playing all these different heights, I want it should beaters should only be about that far from the head. Should meaning that is my goal at the moment, not like as a rule of thumb. I'm sure that there's plenty of discussion on this in jazz circles. That's just a constraint that I'm creating for myself. Ooh. So much of my difficulty happens on the lift. Oh man, I just realized how tense I was. Take a second and just relax everything. Relax your hip, relax your knee, relax your ankle and your toes, and just try and play some hits as relaxed as possible. I feel like my muscles are so primed to play loud notes that the second that my ankle starts to bend, I can feel my calf flex up and get ready to just play this like absolute wallop of a hit. Also, you can keep playing every time that I stop. I'm just trying to talk to y'all. I'm gonna bury the beater for a second. And again, like, you know, I'm struggling today with this, but like, that's the way it goes. You know, it takes time for this to develop upon itself. I think that can be a discouraging thing for younger players. Younger meaning like newer to the instrument, newer, fresher players, I guess. Is that it takes there's a delay between you like introducing a concept in the practice room and it actually taking effect. Took me a lot of years to realize that. Your brain has to process things. All right, now off the head. I also drank about a half a pot of coffee today, so that could be contributing to this. Let's alternate between burying and playing off. So like bury, off. Oh, we did that yesterday. Off, bury, off, bury, off, bury. Relax your leg if it started to be tense again. Also take into consideration whether in order to relax your ankle, knee, hip, if you've just moved that tension to another part of your body, maybe take a second to do the old School of Rock loosey-goosey. It's a really bad habit. I spent a lot of years, Levon Helm is a hero of mine, and he would tuck his shoulder up to his ear and kind of like feel the time with his shoulder. If I stand in a mirror, my shoulders are no longer symmetric because I did that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely be aware. Oh, and then when I stopped doing that, I thought I was good. And then I realized I would see pictures of myself and I would be clenching my jaw so hard. I just moved the tension up to my jaw. So just like kind of be aware of that. Obviously, if you're playing, just play. Fix those habits in the practice room. Anyways, back to the bury off. I like to tell stories. Bury off, bury off, bury off, bury off. All right, I'm gonna switch gears. So we've been playing at 60 beats per minute. I'm gonna cut that in half. We could also just play every other click, but I think that playing with space is really important. It's gonna kick our butt for a second while we get used to it. I'm gonna slow down the amount of hits that we're doing. One of the things that I will generally play around with, and is considered a wise move in drumming circles, is if you're having a hard time with something, just you're playing it too fast. So we're gonna play half as many. So you can see how slow this is going. It's just half as fast. So it's da, 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 da. You know what? Yeah. I lied. I don't want to have to do two hard things at once. Let's go back to 60. Thank you for your patience. Again, stream of conscious here. I'm making decisions on the fly. So we're going to do every other click. So it'll be like off, off. Whew. So obviously that's still incredibly difficult. Playing low is hard though. That's not something... It's not something that we as drummers really do. I mean, you get on the kit as a kid and you want to make loud noises. But this level of control, this is how you unlock that really well-controlled high volume that you're going to see from a lot of the monsters. John Theodore, master drummer that played with At the Drive-In, Mars Volta, Queens of the Stone Age, Day as Lions with Zach De La Rocha. There's an interview that basically he gets asked how he plays so loudly, and he says it's because he practices as quietly as possible. So now I'm going to alternate, and this might be a little bit hard. I'm not going to do it for super long, but I talked about the downstrokes, which is high to low. So starting high, starting with the beater far away from the head, and then ending low. And then the next following hit will be low to high, which will be this sort of glancing, you hit and then you release. And we're gonna do this every other click. So it'll be like this, and we'll start high to low. 1, 2, you can join in whenever you want. 1, 2, ready, go. 2. Woo. All right, back to taps every other hit. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 2. I'm noticing an overall improvement in the stability of my beater, though, like when it's off, like how it wobbles there. It seems to be doing that a little bit less. Hopefully the sound hasn't been awful. I've just been doing laundry at the same time as this, because I don't know why, honestly. Let's go back to every quarter note now. I'm noticing my foot wants to be further to the left. I'm almost wondering if that means that I need to move my whole bass drum over that way a little bit. Ooh. Okay, so now we're going to work on sort of a graduated height, stick height. Well, it'll be beater height, but I'm going to display this with a stick. So I'll have this click going, and it will just be 4 heights. It'll be high, medium, lower, feather, and then high, medium, lower, feather, high, medium, lower, feather, high, medium, lower, feather, high, medium. You can see me correcting. So we'll see how this goes. Again, just finding things that we struggle with and grinding them. So 1, 2, ready, go. High, medium, lower, feather. 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 I keep high, medium. I keep on bouncing that one. High, medium, lower, feather. 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 Woo, okay. That is hard. That was maybe the hardest thing that we've done so far. So another thing that I think would actually help is in terms of getting these featherings just more accurate is actually just patting it with a left-hand snare. And so this will be a tap height. So I'm literally just tapping the head. And what I'm going to do is just tap along with the feathering. Sometimes through like sort of mental like mirroring, like when I work on hand technique, I'll have both hands going, but I'll be looking at my hand and at my stick of my right hand and comparing it to that of my left hand as I'm playing. And it just lets you're just basically taking the thing that you're struggling with and comparing it to something that you're stronger with. I've done a ton of tap height playing over the years, at least compared relative to my bass drum. And so what I'm going to do is compare height and see if I can maybe try some things that I feel in my hand with my feet, which wouldn't sound translatable, but I'm sure we'll be able to find some things. So starting that again, just taps, just feathering. Immediately I'm more comfortable until I talked. My ear itches. Let's bury it. If you don't have a bass drum and you're doing this along with this, by the way, again, you're just leaving your foot against the ground, whereas if you're doing taps, it's more of a like kind of playing hot potato, or you're like touching a burner. You're tapping and then getting your foot away from the surface. I'm doing the same thing with my stick. If I was not using a drum set though, I could be versus that would be playing off. This is burying. For those of you who are playing with the pedal right now, let's ease off and see if we can get a little bit of dribbling. Again, this is just a touch thing. You're just playing around with the control of your ankle. And all I'm doing is I'm just changing how much I'm pushing into the head when I hit. So there's really hard. And then I'll just ease off a little bit. It's almost as though I'm not, like when I'm playing into it, it's almost as though I'm aiming for a surface that's like I'm not playing right on the surface. I'm like playing a couple inches into the drum. Whereas with this, like there's I'm just barely making enough contact to touch the head. And so it's causing it to rumble. And again, as I said last time, feathering is a little quieter than you think it is. So ease off if you were doing what I was doing, which was playing like 3-4 inches off the head. Now let's go to normal feathering. some of you who are playing on acoustic drums too, maybe noticing that like you're not getting a lot of tone out of your drum. That is a little bit of the reason why jazz drummers will tune up their drums, is because when the head is tighter, it's not as hard to get sensitivity in order to get the back head to resonate. Because when I hit this batter head, the air goes forward and bounces off that head and makes it resonate. And so you need a little bit of sensitivity, otherwise you're just hitting a dead surface. Yeah. They tune their drums up for a bunch of other reasons too. There's, keeps you out of the range of other instruments, helps them project, gives them tone, whole number of reasons. Rebound. Oh, we were burying. No, we were playing feathering. Good Lord. My apologies. Let's bring that left hand into the equation again. Awesome. I'm going to take this and just do a little test of, let's say, like 80 beats per minute, a little quicker. Just see how this feels. Oh, I need to tighten up that rack tom. I love that y'all are getting an insight into my ADHD too, as I just get distracted mid-sentence by things. I almost got up and did my laundry mid-video when that alarm went off. So we're at 80 beats per minute right now. Making little adjustments with my feet. I'm also really far up on the pedal board. I mean, a lot of people that you'll see playing loud, they play way back here because it gives you a little bit more power. Playing more quietly, you can move further up the I keep calling it the pedal board, the footboard. For some reason, that's feeling right to me. Let's move it up 10 beats per minute. I'm just gonna kind of see, we can see where we max out at. I would consider maxing out be that you're no longer able to keep this really low distance between the beater and the head. And obviously at a certain point this is going to be easier because playing slow in many ways is harder than playing faster, or at least as hard. Couple mistakes there, but I'm also moving around to get better angles. Let's move up. We're now at 100 beats per minute. Ooh, some dribbles there, but I am tense. My leg is all flexed up. If you reach a point where you can't keep up, switch to playing every other click. So if this is too fast for you, go click, rest, 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 rather than quarter notes. Also, if you're relatively new to music too, that's a half note. You're playing half as many quarter notes. Mind blown. All right. I'm starting to max out. And by the way, you might be way better at me than this. If I'm going to go until I personally max out, or if I start feeling tension, I'm going to stop. In that case, pause the video and see where you stop at, and maybe leave it in the comments or something. I don't know, your call. Not a flex though. We all have different capabilities on the drums and different things we're looking for on these things. 110 beats per minute. So again, if this is too fast for you, it's going to be rest, or hit, hit, rest, 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 hit, hit. And then for the rest of us. I strongly encourage y'all to, if you're wanting to practice this on your own, you can work to a metronome. Another thing too is like, queue up your streaming service or, your record player. This might make your record player skip. I'm not sure. But listen to some, like, a lot of the swing stuff, but late swing, early bebop as jazz started going into the smaller clubs in a big way. Listen to the speed that these guys were feathering the bass drums. I mean, it's phenomenal. And I mean, there's plenty of revival jazz projects, plenty of drummers out there that are really paying tribute to the style, that are masters of playing like this. If anybody has links to videos too, really giving good analysis on feathering, please share. I could use it. Everybody else could use it. Again, we're in this together. I'm just your accountability buddy. Let's do, 120 beats per minute. So we are now going twice as fast as we were when we started. Again, if this is too fast for you, you're going rest, 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 rest. It's really fun talking to you all as though there's a really big audience, when in reality, like, my mom's for sure gonna watch this and a couple of my friends. But thank you if you do. Like and subscribe, all that business. Everybody always talks about it, but I really want to make this be a thing that I can do. I really like the drums, and I really want to make learning the drums be something that is accessible and understandable for everyone, and have the information, not be hidden behind the paywall of tuition, but really have it there available for people should they want it. I got a lot of exciting ideas and things that I'm hoping to achieve, but I'm gonna need support in order to breed longevity. And so yeah, any support is much appreciated. "130 beats per minute. I'm getting damn close to maxing out my technical abilities here. Again, if this is too fast, the half notes, you're essentially doing quarter notes at 75 beats per minute, half of 130. And hey, if this is excruciatingly slow for you and you're an absolute animal, or just picking this up incredibly quickly, feel free to go twice as fast. Or do some like wacky polyrhythm over the top of me or whatever. If y'all make modifications too, like please comment them, and I will copy and paste them and put them in the comments. I'm gonna always have like any other insights, things that pop into my mind as I do this, I'm gonna try and add to the comments. "140 beats per minute. 1, 2, ready, go. Oh, sweet Jesus, that's very difficult. Oh yeah, relax my leg. Relax your leg, guys. I know it's probably tempting to skip through this, but like, and just see how fast you can go and just test yourself. But like, we're getting practice at each of these too. I'm still going through my mental checklist. I'm trying to stay relaxed. I'm seeing how much of my toes I'm using. I'm seeing how much of my ankles I'm using, and being cognizant of that. Again, if you feel like it and this part isn't what you want to be doing, you could be burying it. You could be doing, you could be combining any of the exercises that we were doing before. Kind of going back to me talking about if this was too easy for you, you could be doing the, this is going to be crazy. You could be doing the down, low, down, low, low, low. You could be doing any of the exercises that I've talked about thus far. "160 beats per minute. I don't really have 150 beats per minute. I don't have a set time that I'm doing this. I'm not counting measures. Again, I'm isolating my foot. I also just got a notification that my phone has 5% battery in it. We learn as we go. Bring your charger in when you're shooting a video, y'all. All right, I'm going to cruise through these last couple. 160. Again, if this is way too fast for you, then 80 beats per minute. Rest, rest, rest. I like to say rest at the same time that I play. It's real tricky. $170. Oh God. Okay. All right, that's my point. 170 beats per minute. Things kind of started falling apart. I'm also feeling a little tense that my phone's gonna die. Turn my metronome off. All right, that was a lot of playing. Hopefully you're seeing benefit out of this. For those of you who have band practices and rehearsals and stuff, please let me know if this is helping you. If there's anything that I can do that is easy changes or just basic changes, again, I've got a list going and I'm trying to make improvements as I go. But yeah, if you have any ideas or any different approaches, maybe your requests within this realm, I'm going to follow this feathering and bass drum track for a while and take it into some basic timekeeping elements of jazz and rock and some different things. But yeah, as always, thank you guys for hanging out. I'll see you next time.